आपको प्रगति के पथ पर आत्मविश्वास के साथ। आइए राजस्थान की एक ऐसी संस्था में जो आपकी सोच को एक नई उड़ान दे, जो मंजिल तक पहुंचाने को तैयार है। ये है आपकी हमारी अपनी साडी SKD यूनिवर्सिटी, पंजाब और राजस्थान के बीच में बसी वन ऑफ इंडियाज टॉप यूनिवर्सिटी। हजारों विद्यार्थी, सैकड़ों अध्यापक, ऑल द अवार्ड्स। सच कहूं, SKD इज द बेस्ट प्लेस फॉर लर्निंग। बड़ी व सुंदर इमारतें और मैदान SKD यूनिवर्सिटी के परिसर को अद्भुत बनाते हैं। हमारे लिए शिक्षा सिर्फ क्लासरूम की 4 दीवारों तक सीमित नहीं है। अच्छे शिक्षक एक महान शिक्षा के लिए महत्वपूर्ण हैं। आपके साथ ट्यूटर की लगातार बैठकें होती हैं, जहां आप कोई भी प्रश्न पूछ सकते हैं, और साथ ही एक अच्छी राउंडेड पर्सनालिटी विकसित करने के लिए सह पाठ्यक्रम गतिविधियां आवश्यक होती हैं। पुस्तकालय में सभी छात्रों की आवश्यकताओं को पूरा करने वाली विभिन्न किताबों के साथ भारतीय और विदेशी लेखकों की पुस्तकों का संग्रह है। यहाँ लाइब्रेरी में पुस्तकों के अलावा प्रोफेशनल इंजीनियरिंग पत्रिकाओं और अन्य विश्व स्तरीय पत्रिकाओं की सदस्यता तथा संग्रह है। सिर्फ नंबर पाने के लिए नहीं, अनुभव कीजिए विश्व स्तरीय सुविधाओं को जो आपको बनाए प्रतिभावान व कुशल। हम आपके अवसरों को और बेहतर बनाने व व्यक्तित्व विकास के लिए यहाँ कम्युनिकेशन स्किल पर विशेष ध्यान देते हैं, जो जीवन भर आपकी मदद करता है। SKD विश्वविद्यालय में हम कोशिश करते हैं कि छात्र को उनकी पसंद के अनुरूप कौशल प्राप्त हो तथा उद्योग जगत के लिए वे उपयोगी हों। कंप्यूटर शिक्षा का एक अविभाज्य हिस्सा बन गया है और तकनीकी शिक्षा उच्च स्तरीय तकनीक द्वारा संचालित है। कंप्यूटर विज्ञान और सूचना प्रौद्योगिकी के लिए विशेष लैब, जो सभी विभागों के छात्रों के लिए एक मार्गदर्शक की तरह है। यहाँ जनरल, बुक्स और अन्य शोध कार्य देखकर, पढ़कर उससे ज्ञान बढ़ाते हैं। इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी वाईफाई के साथ उपलब्ध है। प्रयोगशाला आधुनिक उपकरणों से अच्छी तरह से सुसज्जित है और विषय के सिद्धांतों और अभ्यास को समझने के लिए पर्याप्त जानकारी देती है। संबंधित शिक्षकों की देखरेख में छात्रों के उपयोग के लिए कॉलेज में अलग अलग प्रयोगशालाओं जैसे भौतिकी, रसायन विज्ञान, जीव विज्ञान। SKD यूनिवर्सिटी के पाठ्यक्रम को विशेष रूप से डिजाइन किया गया है, जो स्कूल 10+2 से उत्तीर्ण होने के तुरंत बाद लॉ ग्रेजुएट बनने के इच्छुक छात्रों को शामिल करता है। ये छात्रों की सही नींव रखने में मदद करता है और आपको एक सच्चे कानून पेशेवर के रूप में विकसित करता है। खेल और फिटनेस हमारे दैनिक जीवन में बहुत बड़ा रोल निभाते हैं। SKD यूनिवर्सिटी अति आधुनिक खेल व फिटनेस सुविधा प्रदान करता है। विशाल परिसर में मेस सुविधा के साथ छात्र और छात्राओं के लिए अलग अलग छात्रावास हैं। कई मायनों में छात्रावास का जीवन परिसर में एक छात्र के जीवन को परिभाषित करता है। प्रत्येक हॉस्टल में इंडोर गेम्स और व्यायामशाला के लिए अलग अलग कमरे हैं। कुछ शिक्षा को एक दायित्व मान सकते हैं, कुछ इसे एक पेशा मानते हैं, लेकिन कुछ ही इसे जुनून के रूप में देखते हैं। श्री खुशहाल दास यूनिवर्सिटी छात्रों के बहुआयामी विकास के लिए हमेशा तत्पर है। ये राजस्थान के हनुमानगढ़ जिले का देश को आगे ले जाने की दिशा में एक मजबूत कदम है। ये है हम सबका विश्वविद्यालय।
साडी यूनिवर्सिटी,
SKD यूनिवर्सिटी साडी यूनिवर्सिटी, SKD यूनिवर्सिटी साडी यूनिवर्सिटी,
SKD यूनिवर्सिटी साडी यूनिवर्सिटी,
साडी यूनिवर्सिटी SKD यूनिवर्सिटी।
मैम आप कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं।
हाँ जी,
हाँ मैम कंटिन्यू कर लीजिए आप।
ओके ओके।
A very good evening to all of you, my dear students and parents, friends, colleagues, teachers, and all who are listening to this video. I am Parmita Dhar, Namaskar, and I come from Kolkata, the cultural capital of our country. Also, Kolkata is known as the city of joy. First of all, I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to SKD University for giving me this opportunity to be associated with a university of this stature. I would thank the VC sir, Registrar sir, Dr. Kovid Kumar, who got in touch with me, the person who is helping me in the IT today. He's been with me for quite a long time, since afternoon. Thank you all. Thank you for making me a part of your family. And we start with a little bit more introduction about myself, because whenever you are going to communicate with anyone, you must know about the person. The better you know each other, the better communication you can carry forward, right? So to tell me about, I am a soft skills and a communication trainer, and I'm very happy and a lucky person that my profession is something which is also my passion. I'm a passionate trainer. My training includes English language development, verbal and non-verbal communication, soft skills development, and social etiquette, employability skills development, CV writing, so on and so forth, leadership, negotiation, all these which are included in the wider bracket of soft skills and communication. So, as you know, from today onwards, we are going to actually start a series of such videos where we will be talking about and learning from each other what is soft skills, what is communication, how it is going to help us, and more importantly, why at all on earth we are going to spend some time on this, right? So I'll be trying to guide you, and I believe that it would be a very, very enriching journey for both sides. So the communication process, as it had two sides, at least, that is the communicator and the communicatee, both of us, we are going to gain a lot from this, So shall we start with our today's session? Today being the first and the introductory session, I will be giving you a detailed idea about what is communication, how communication is going to help us in our present day life, in our future, and in our career, in whatever we are going to do in our lives. So how basic and how important communication is all about. So, with you here with me, I start sharing my PPT.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. So just tell me if I'm being able to share it properly. Okay.
मैम
So I
पीपीटी को आप लेके आई स्क्रीन पे
हाँ
पीपीटी वाला विंडो यस दैट इज
शो कर रहा है
यस
हाँ जी थैंक यू सो द फर्स्ट थिंग जो सबसे पहले हम लोग जानेंगे कि व्हाट इज दिस
मैम पीपीटी वाला विंडो हट गया है आप पीपीटी विंडो पे क्लिक कर दीजिए राइट
yes. So the first thing, my dear students, what we are going to learn, what we are going to understand, सीखने से पहले समझना बहुत important है ना? तो what we are going to understand is this, that what is this spoken English personality development class is all about, right? लेकिन उससे पहले हम लोगों को जो सीखना है वो है और जो जानना है वो है कि communication आखिर में होता क्या है? आखिर में ये है क्या? So communication plays a vital role in human life. Yes, it does play a vital role in human life. And do you have any idea from what age we start communicating? From the age of 3, 5, 10, 15? Or when we go to the college and there is a soft skills trainer and a communication trainer who comes and tells us, okay, come on, let's communicate, and we take it forward. Is it that? No, my dear. Communication is as basic as the need for food, shelter, right, and protection. We start communicating before we are born. Even when we are inside our mother's womb, तब से हम लोग communicate करते हैं. We only tell our mothers it's time to take us out. Yes, the doctors do help us. And that is why we have so many various types of communication aids. Right? और उसके बाद हमें जब भूख लगती है, बचपन में छोटा सा बच्चा घर पे अगर हो, the person, that little kid will shout, cry, yawn. And all these are done for what? To give a signal. So communication is various kinds of signals that we give to each other to understand what we need, what we want to say, what is the situation like, so on and so forth. And what does it help? It helps us to facilitate the exchange of information and knowledge. Trust me, my dear students, knowledge is not always the big fat books. Knowledge is even, looking at the sky. When the farmer in the rural India looks at the skies and understands it is going to rain today, that person doesn't have a degree from the university, but he has the knowledge and he communicates with the nature and understands so that, and develop relationship with each other. I mean, that is absolutely necessary, because we cannot live a life in isolation. We need to develop relationship with our parents, with our siblings, with our extended family, with our friends, teachers, so on and so forth. And in this virtual world, we make relationship with so many other people. Like I am here to make a relationship with you, and you are here to make a relationship with me over the cloud network, right? And therefore, the importance of communication skill in our day-to-day life cannot be underestimated. No way. We cannot survive without communicating. Can you survive without communicating? Just think of a situation. You have a nice room with a absolutely fantastic AC, 5-star wala AC. All the OTT platforms that are available, whether it is Amazon Prime, whether it is Netflix or any other, you have the premium subscription for all. Our refrigerator stocked with the best foods that you always wanted to have, but there is no one around, no physical individual, no person around you. How long you can continue in that? And of course, a very, very hi-fi mobile phone with a absolute fantastic network. How long you can survive in that situation? Trust me, the first 2 days you're going to be on the top of the wall. The second 2 days, a little bit of, monotony would take up. And on the 4th and the 5th day, you will cry, ki mummy, mujhe ghar le chalo. So this is the importance of communication, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, and so many other types of communication. We will just see how we go about it, right? So the first thing, again, just for the sake of repetition, the first thing we need to understand is why communication is so important. Because we want the other person understand us. We want the other person acknowledge us. We want the other person to give us the due recognition, to love us, to respect us, and also to correct us if we are going wrong somewhere. है ना? हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, किसी ने तो मुझे बताया ही नहीं, अगर होता तो मैं ये नहीं करती. We always say that. That is what we want, someone to take care of us. And how would that caring take place? That would take place only when we communicate, not only orally, not only by writing. There are so many other types of communication, and so interesting, and trust me, my dear friends, you all know about it. What you need to know is just a little bit of hand-holding, which I'm here to do with you, and the university is there to do for you, and you will understand how important as well as how easy, how free-flowing the entire concept of communication is all about. Right. So when we talk about communication, we talk about various things. Like, for example, you are driving a car or you are riding a bus. right? And the bus halts somewhere. Nobody asked it to stop there. But there is some communication. And what is that communication? The communication is from the traffic signal. Traffic signal का लाल बत्ती जल गया और वहां पे हम लोग रुक गए. किसी ने नहीं बोला, कोई पुलिस वहां पे नहीं था. It's an automated traffic signal. But our mind and the light of the traffic signal is linked. And we know what to be done. That is also a communication, right? When you go to the university or when you go to the college, when you go to your school, class 12 or first year graduation, post graduation, wherever, you know where to talk and where not to talk, right? That is also communication. Communication, my dear friends, doesn't only teach us to talk or to write. Communication also teaches us where to keep quiet. So silence is again another beautiful form of communication because silence speaks in volumes. Colors, the color that I wear on a wedding and the color that I wear on a funeral, the color that I wear for an interview and the color that I wear with a day out with my friends communicate something, isn't it? So communication is in everything that we do, right from early morning when the alarm clock rings, our communication starts, our conscious communication starts, because there is also communication in a subconscious mind, and that is dreaming and all. We are not going into that because that's a huge thing, and I am not a trainer for that, right? So our conscious communication starts, and we also communicate during our sleep. How? हम लोग बहुत अच्छी नींद सो रहे हैं and there a मच्छर comes and bites us. What we do? In our sleep only, नींद में ही उसको मारने की कोशिश करते हैं, है ना? That is also communication. So it is a mental process, it is a physical process, it is related to our nervous system, and it is related to anything and everything that we are, right? In the morning, the alarm clock rings, you wake up, that's communication. Your mother tells you to go and bring a packet of milk from the local store. You go, you talk to the store owner there, एक दो बात कर लेते वहां पे, that is communication. आते आते you saw a street dog, two street dogs fighting with each other. That is also a kind of communication because there's something which is going inside your mind. You come home, you read the newspaper early in the morning. Communication, right? You send a WhatsApp message to your friend. Aaj movie chale. That is communication. You look at your mother and you understand that her mood is not very good. She might give you a pathetic breakfast. That is also communication. She's not saying anything. She's not howling or shouting or scolding you, but something is there which gives you a kind of a signal, right? So anything and everything that we do is communication. And trust me, my dear friends, without proper communicating, we are not going to do well in our lives. To do well in our lives, we need to communicate. Communicate in a better way. Now, what do we mean by communicating in a better way? I will come to that. Of course, I'll come to that. And since it is a series of lectures and sessions, we will take each topic a day and we will discuss it thoroughly so that things becomes absolutely clear to you, to me, right? Again, let me tell you, communication is never a one-way process. In some cases, it is a one-way process, but in 99% cases, it is a two-way process. So whenever I'm trying to tell you something, I'm also gaining something from it. Okay. So here in this particular slide, you see a lot of things that I have written. I've taken it from a site and there are a lot of things. What? Essential communication skills. अच्छी तरह से communication करने के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए? We need positive body language. What is positive body language? It's going to be a fantastic session on positive body language. We will be dealing with it soon, right? Transparency and honesty. What is transparency? Dil mein kuch, dimag mein kuch, muh mein kuch? No, that is no communication. Trust me. The moment we do it, the communication suffers. The moment we do it, communication suffers. So we have to be transparent. We have to be transparent and honest about our thinking and about our expression in thinking. accurate information giving, because if we do not give accurate information, the other person will act in depending upon our inaccurate information, false information, right? So that's not the right thing. Personalization, I'll come to it later on. Let me finish the other things. Professional language. The way I talk to my friend is certainly not the way I will talk to my teacher in the college, and then to my boss in my office, and then to my colleague who sits next to me, the peer group, but a professional peer group. So it is absolutely necessary to understand and to learn professional language. Right, my dear friends? And that is what we called business communication. Now we say, hey, hi, how are you? No. In business communication, do we say that? Most of the cases, no. But in some cases, we do say that also. So which are the exceptions? We need to learn that. And of course, I will be doing a hand holding for you to learn about all these things. Effective listening. What do we mean by effective listening, my dear friends? Effective listening is very, very important for anything we do. Whenever our mother asks us something to do, our friends tells us something, our teachers teach us in the college room, our bosses give us some kind of an assignment, some kind of a walk in a meeting. If we are an effective listener, we can actually do a lot of things much better and smoothly than the one who is not doing it. How? I'll come to it later on. Empathy and mirroring. So I'm very good in communication. So what I do, I tell everyone else, अरे तेरे से तो नहीं होगा, तुम्हारा तो इंग्लिश बहुत खराब है, अरे छोड़ दे, तुमसे नहीं होगा. No. Because if I do that, a day will come, I will be left alone. And nobody will be around me. And trust me, as I said at the very beginning of the session, that I cannot survive alone. I need to communicate. I need people around me, right? Mirroring, learning from others, understanding how the other person speaks. Just think of a person whose style of communication you absolutely adore. Maybe a person like Mr. Barack Obama, the ex-US president, Mr. Shah Rukh Khan, Harsh Bogle, और कितने भी सारे लोग हैं. आप जरा सोच लो अपने दिमाग में, ताकि आपको पता चले कि what is there in their communication style. Amitabh Bachchan, what is there in their communication style which I do not have? And one very, very basic way of learning communication is imitating. Not blind imitation, but conscious and sincere imitation. The tips I will give you time and again. Right? Then personalization. What is personalization? When I talk to you or when you talk to me, we should feel that we are giving each other the due time, respect, attention. Right? I cannot speak to everyone at a time. And when I'm doing it, I should learn the art of personalization. Because if I do not learn it, I will not be able to be a good communicator. Right, my dear friends? We move on to the next one. That is, where and how do we communicate? Well, we communicate in a lot of manners, but where? As I told you, we communicate everywhere. कहीं पे भी हम जाए, कुछ भी करें, we communicate. Even when we are actually, serving a food, that is also a type of communication we do, right? When we are dressing up, we are doing a kind of a communication. So we actually communicate everywhere. So this where is everywhere, right? And how do we communicate? We communicate by talking, we communicate by writing, we communicate by with our gestures, with our pitch of voice, with our posture. Posture means body language. मैं ऐसे बैठी हूँ कि मैं ऐसे बैठी हूँ, कुछ भी, right? With our eye contact, the way I look at you will, give you a kind of a idea like what is coming. Blinking, sometimes people wink before saying something. That is also a kind of communication. Tone of voice, yes, very, very important. that these are known as paralanguage. We'll come to it, right? Facial expression. किसी को देख के बहुत हंसते हैं, किसी को देख के थोड़ा हंसते हैं और किसी को देख के हंसी उड़ जाती है. तो that is also a kind of communication. Smell. When you enter a temple, you know the smell of the incense sticks, agarbatti ka jo smell hai, it gives you a kind of a different feel altogether, right? And then when you cross a place in your city which is a dumping ground, from the smell you understand that we are crossing that area, right? So the smell itself tells us something. It says that, okay, this is what it is, right? So smell. Time is very important in communication, very, very important in communication, because with time our body clock reacts, with time our mind reacts, and we should know what to say when. Please understand this, what to say when. For example, early in the morning when you wake up from your sleep, you put on the radio, and what kind of a music you would like to listen to? Something which is very slow, soothing and nice. But on a Saturday night, when you are out with your friends, you like something with a lot of beats and bhangra and this, that and the other, right? Heavy metal and all, right? So this is the the magic of time. With time, our need, our requirement, our biological need, our mental need changes. So early in the morning when we sit for our breakfast, we want a different kind of a food. The food, that particular food, whether it is cereals and milk and whatever, we would not like to eat for our dinner because time. Okay, then personal pronunciation. That's a huge area, personal pronunciation is a huge area. And gesture, I have told you. Then one thing which I missed, I believe, is the pitch of the voice, right? The voice modulation, which is absolutely necessary for any kind of communication. Say, for example, I say, Satish is a good boy. It's a very simple sentence. Satish is a good boy. It's a statement I'm making with a lot of affirmation. That is, I'm quite sure that Satish is a good boy. But then I say, Satish is a good boy. So I put a question mark. And it says what? That I have my own doubts about Satish's being a good boy or not, right? So with the pitch of my voice, with the modulation of my voice, things change, right? And we have to take care of it. So it is, if we go back to where we started, where we communicate everywhere. And how do we communicate? We communicate not only with the spoken words or written words, but there are so many other elements of communication. Perhaps there are many others than all that has been mentioned here. So many other elements of communication, which makes the communication process a complete and a successful communication process. And in this sense, let me tell you, my dear friends, that, when I'm talking, I'm not only talking, my entire body is giving me support. And that is called the non-verbal communication. And 65% of communication depends on my non-verbal communication. Because with my body language, my voice modulation changes, my gesture changes, my facial movements changes, and all this contribute to the success of my communication, right? So we have to be absolutely careful about this various aids that we use during a communication process, right? Then we go to the next one, which is absolutely related to today's session, right? Or the session that we have started today, and we will take it forward. That what is the objective of this session? What is the objective of this session? Well, my dear friends, let me tell you one thing, that in today's world, presentation skills, communication skills, self-branding, understanding the other person's psychology, adaptability, all these things are very, very important. At times, it is even more important than your marks. But don't think that I'm telling you not to study anymore. Of course not, but this is also very, very important. So in this session that we have started today, we will try to develop our communication skills, our verbal communication skills as well as non-verbal communication skills. So in order to develop our verbal communication skills, there are two things that we need. One is language and the other one is content. And we have to communicate in English language. Why? This is a huge discussion topic, actually. I'm not going into that. So we will try and we will learn and we will certainly develop our English language. We will learn to read, write, and more importantly, speak correctly, right? We will understand the written text and able to use skimming and scanning skills. A 5-page case study is given to you. 15 minutes time, you actually have to skim and scan. How? We will do a few exercises, I'll give you a few tips, and we will learn about it, right? To be able to use English as a medium of communication in professional and personal life, right? So when I go to the office, when I stand in my classroom in the college and give a presentation, I should bother only about the content of my presentation, not about the language, not about the medium on which I'm going to deliver that presentation. Certainly not. Certainly not. Because I will be developing my language to certain extent that becomes very normal with me. So what we need to do here, we not only learn English when we come to a class or when we read a book or when we write an essay. We learn English in our day-to-day activities. When I'm making a cup of tea, I think myself in my own mind that, okay, so this is what I do. I take a pan, I put some water onto it, I put it on the gas oven, then I let it boil, put sugar, water, tea leaves and milk, and then I strain it with a strainer, put it in a plate, serve it with 2 biscuits that I like to eat, or 2 cookies, right, that I like to eat. So the entire process is clear to me. What was I doing? I was making tea for myself, right? I'm jogging early in the morning, okay, and I see a lot of greeneries around me. And I think that, okay, there's so many plants. So what we call, while we plant a tree, we call it afforestation. When we cut a tree, we call it deforestation. I learned two new words while I am jogging. I come back home and I sit for my breakfast, right? So I learn that I have to have a knife and a fork, right? So 2 kitchen utensils, eating utensils I have. I learned 2 names. So in this way, we do not have the time, we do not have the space to sit down and learn English that we are supposed to learn during some other time. But how do we learn it? We learn it with our everyday activity. We learn it with our everyday activity, and that's fun, that's interesting, that's fast and quick. So to be able to use English as a medium of communication in professional and personal life, right? ताकि जब हम किसी से बात करें, हम इंग्लिश में बात कर पाए और अपना impression जमा पाए, ठीक है ना? Then understanding English grammar, because that is the basic of any language. हम लोग जब हिंदी पढ़ते थे या कोई भी, like my mother tongue is Bangla, so Bangla grammar is perhaps the most difficult thing a student has to learn. But once you learn it, once you know it in and out, you are through with the language. And that is what English grammar will also help us to do. And what else we will do? We will learn about the various facets of personality development. Language तो हो गया, अभी थोड़ा पर्सनालिटी को डेवलप करेंगे, थोड़ा सा ड्रेसिंग सीखेंगे, थोड़ा सा नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन सीखेंगे, थोड़ा सा इंटरव्यू स्टाइल सीखेंगे, थोड़ा सा प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स सीखेंगे. and we will make ourselves into a complete package. I'm using these two terms time and again. One is branding, one is packaging. Trust me, बहुत important है, because it is a very, very competitive world. And I am so happy to see this university taking up this initiative to let people learn from their Facebook page, from their YouTube channel. Just a click away, right? Not everyone will do it for you. So make a complete branding, a complete packaging of yourself, and you are there to win every challenge that comes to your way. We will learn about empathy. We will learn about how to deal with an irate person जो बहुत गुस्सा करते हैं. वैसे लोग अगर मिल जाए काम करने वक्त जो बहुत डांटते, बहुत मतलब अजीब चीजें बोलते, कैसे डील करेंगे उनके साथ? We will learn it. It is all in the magic of communication, my dear. And where from communication starts? Do you know? Communication का process कहाँ से शुरू होता है? दिल से, दिमाग से होके, दिल से होके जब मुंह से निकलता है, that is the best communication. That is the best communication. Am I clear to all of you, my dear? I believe I am. Okay. Now, you must be asking me, ma'am, why English? English is not our mother language. Of course, it's not. Not mine, not yours. Mine is Bangla, yours is Hindi. Somebody else is something else. We do respect our mother language a lot, right? Nothing gives us the pleasure we get when we express ourselves in our mother language. But at the same time, English is a universal language of communication wherever we go, within our country, outside our country. You know, a day will come where you will be visiting to every nook and corner of the earth, isn't it? For business deals, for professional deals, you'll be standing in the auditorium of a well-known university giving a speech. And what would be your language? You cannot learn German, French, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, Bangla, etc. How many languages would you learn? So one, of course, you can learn if you want to. I'm not discouraging you to learn, because the more you learn, the better for you. But one universal language, one common language, जो हर जगह पे आप जाके जिससे बात कर सकते हो, within our country, हमारे देश में भी, हमारे देश के बाहर भी, that is English. And in our country, because of our 200 years of colonialism, we give a lot of importance to English language. Now we are also giving a lot of importance to the regional languages. That's a very good step. But at the same time, English is very important. It opens up more opportunities for us. Because when we read a newspaper, we read a research paper, we read a book, most of it or much of it are in English, right? And with the virtual world, the world is it's in our palm, right? Now I can sit here in my house in Kolkata, and I am doing a session with people with a university that is in Rajasthan, and maybe someone from some other part of the globe is listening to us. And we do have friends from various parts of the globe, isn't it? We all do have this, has ruined our life like anything, and also opened the world for us. The virtual world has opened for us, and it's something which is good for all of us. Good for people who are into academics, good for people who want to learn new things, good for people who have a curiosity about anything and everything under the sun. So it opens up more opportunities. Required for overseas studies, right? I would expect so many of you go to all those universities and colleges throughout the globe, not only for studying, maybe for teaching, maybe as a guest lecturer, right? And for that, English is required. It is a major language of internet. सारा दिन हम लोग internet पे ये वो करते रहते हैं ना? We keep on doing things on the internet. We try to find this Google, anything anything, right from a recipe to how to do a certain thing, how to give a presentation, how to write an essay, to what is the weather conditions like, or what is the price of the yellow metal. Everything is on the internet. And what is the language of internet? Of course, there are other languages in the internet, but I believe more than 60% is English. So in order to learn from there, what we need English. Again, what we need English, and we are going to learn English here. Don't worry about that. And trust me, my dear friends, English is perhaps the easiest and the best language to learn in a smaller time frame, right? It will help us with more access to academia, that is academic world, media, entertainment, culture, history, everything. So that is why we will give a lot of emphasis to this language, and I will try also to do a little bit in Hindi, so that it becomes even more easy for us, और थोड़ा सा ज्यादा इजी हो जाए हम लोग के लिए. ये हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे, ताकि इंटेंशन क्या है हम लोग का? इंटेंशन है सीखना. The intention is to learn. So whatever is required to learn the language, to learn the art of communication, to learn the art of giving a presentation, speech, etc., we will learn. We will actually do it in this particular lecture session. Am I clear to all of you? I believe I am. And then how are we going to do it? We are going to have a grammar knowledge, develop patterns for writing, stress on improved and increased vocabulary. एक छोटा सा टिप मैंने आपको दे ही दिया कि जब हम लोग जॉगिंग में जाएंगे, we will understand what we call planting a tree, what we call cutting a tree. Situational analysis. I'll tell you, right? I'll give you a situation. Suppose we are in the kitchen, we are in the drawing room, we are in a cinema hall, we are in a mall. We will try to find out what each of the items in those areas are called, and we will try to evaluate ourselves. How do we evaluate ourselves? That is also a very easy process. I will be sharing the self-evaluation process with you, with everyone, with whosoever wants to learn from this particular session. We will be doing it, right? Self-evaluation is done, and then this is the last, which I have written in red, that is very, very important. Process, that is सोच लो अपने दिमाग में कि क्या करना है. Practice that, stand in front of the mirror and practice that, and perform. Everything is a performance. Writing an exam is a performance, giving a speech is a performance, singing a song is a performance. Don't think only singing a song or doing a dance program. These are performances. Anything and everything that we do is a performance, and we have to take care of our performance, because unless and until we do that, we never learn. In the performance, in the first performance, everybody will sleep. In the second performance, 2 people will listen, and those 2 people are our best friends. In the third performance, 50% people will wake up and see, oh, this is the one. Okay, great. And in the process, there would be people, a day will come when you will get, perhaps, and I truly believe, you will get a standing ovation for your communication, right? And what is the tip? Every day, I will try to share a tip with you to increase your communication, And what is today's tip? Today's tip is listen more, and listen even more. Why? Because English is a foreign language to us, right? In our house, in most of the Indian households, we do not speak in English. At least in my household, I do not speak in English. So what happens? Why do we know so much of Hindi? Why do we know so much of Bangla? Why do we know so much of some other language, our mother tongue? Because from the moment we are born, or even before that, we had been listening to that particular language. We are exposed to that particular language, right? जब पेरेंट्स हमें प्यार करते हैं, वो भी हमारे मदर टंग में करते हैं. जब डांटते हैं, तब तो और भी ज्यादा मदर टंग में डांटते हैं. जब कॉलेज में जाके हम लोग फ्रेंड से बात करते हैं, वो भी अपने मदर टंग में करते हैं। जब मूवी देखने जाते हैं तो हिंदी मूवीज देखने most of the times, you know, this और जितना हम सुनेंगे उतना वो हमारे दिमाग में रहेगा. Like if you listen to a song, the more you listen to it, the more you can hum it properly, right? So listening is very important because most of us, we do not listen properly, right? So when we listen properly, we not only listen, we also observe that person. We observe that person and we see how that person is pronouncing a certain word, right? जैसे मैं जेम्स बॉन्ड की मूवी देख के मैंने बहुत सारे इंग्लिश सीखा है. इंग्लिश मूवीज देख के I have learned a lot of English. English books पढ़ के I've learned a lot of English. Why? Because it helps us. And how do we have to do that? We have to do that very, very consciously. Very consciously. तो आज से ना आप लोग एक काम करो, एक एंटरटेनमेंट है, एक थोड़ा कम एंटरटेनमेंट है. You listen to one English news, whether on television or on the radio, whichever channel you want to listen to, and you start listening to English music, whether it is Michael Jackson or Bryan Adams or Justin Timberlake, whosoever, right? You listen to music. एक तो entertainment का entertainment हो जाएगा, दूसरा you will come across, first day you will not understand any word. What you will only like is you will like the tune, you will like the beats, you will like the music, right? Slowly you will start understanding the lyrics, right? And I believe you all do watch English movies, English web series. Keep on doing that, not at the cost of your study times though, but do listen to them, because that will help us to be more accustomed with the language. जितना जान पहचान बढ़ेगा ना लैंग्वेज के साथ, उतना ही हम उसको अपना सकेंगे, राइट? वो वहां पे हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था ना, पर्सनलाइजेशन, एम्पैथी एंड पर्सनलाइजेशन. तो वो कैसे होगा? जितना जान पहचान होगा, जितना हम आपस में घुल मिल जाएंगे, उतना ही ज्यादा वो होगा. So we have to understand that. We have to listen more and listen even more. This is today's tip. Tomorrow I'll come again with another tip, so don't worry. I will be flooding you up with tips, but the thing is you need to ensure that you listen to it and you practice to it. Just the other previous slide, where I said process, practice, perform, I should have written practice, practice, practice and practice. The more we practice, the better we do. The more we listen, the better accustomed we get to the language, to the subject, right? When we go to write an examination, अगर एक चैप्टर का एग्जामिनेशन है और अगर हम उसको एक बार पढ़ के जाए तो जो मार्क्स आएंगे, अगर उसको हम 10 बार, 12 बार, 20 बार, 50 बार पढ़ के जाए, obviously the marks would be more because we are more accustomed with whatever is written in that chapter. Same with language, my dear boys and girls. Same with language. Language is perhaps the easiest one, right? And what would be the outcome? इतना सारा कुछ तो कर लेंगे मैम, लेकिन इससे होगा क्या? होगा यही कि हम लोग इंग्लिश में सोचना सीख जाएंगे. The moment we start thinking in English, we start speaking and writing with ease, right? So I will not think in Hindi, I will not think in Punjabi, I'll not think in Gujarati and translate that into English. I'll think in English and I'll speak in English. So ये process जो है ना, our brain is the most sophisticated software that has ever been invented, with huge memory. There's no end of a memory. It's not 4 GB, 10 GB, whatever, क्या जो होता है, right? उतना कुछ नहीं. It's like huge. So there what we do, we need to train our brain so that we learn to think in English with ease. ये नहीं सोचना पड़े कि अच्छा वहां पे कोई एक खड़ा है तो इसको हम लोग इंग्लिश में क्या बोलेंगे. It will come instantly to our mind that someone is standing there for quite long time. सर आपका प्रेजेंटेशन ना रेडी नहीं हो पाया है. Sir will say, why are you speaking in Hindi in my class? You're supposed to speak in English. फिर उसको ट्रांसलेट करने बैठ गए, नहीं उसका नौबत ही नहीं आने देंगे. उससे पहले ही will say that sir, there has been a problem, I couldn't do the presentation, I request you to please give me some more time. Finish. कहानी वहीं पे खत्म कर देंगे. Right? With that, what will come? Will come fluency. Fluency. जहाँ पे हम लोग स्मूथली बात कर सकेंगे, कहीं पे अटकेंगे नहीं. We will speak English as we speak our mother tongue. Right? We will have correct writing skills. Correct writing skills. कितना लिखना है और कितना नहीं लिखना है. You know, I always say, I can teach someone communication skills in 3 months, but I need 3 years to teach someone where not to communicate. Right? Spoken English, I'll teach in 3 months. But I need more time to make them understand where to keep quiet. So correct writing skills are very important. You know, somebody who has a good flow of language will keep on writing. An email, a business email or a professional or an official email, which has to be written in, say, 150 words, that person ends up writing 350 words. No, that is not the right way of communication. Communication doesn't mean that you know the language and you keep on and on and on and on. Kahi rukne ka naam hi nahi hai. No, that is not communication. So you need to know just the right dose. जैसे कि हम लोग खाना बनाते हैं, तो the right portion of salt is very important. So is communication. The right amount of communication. ज़्यादा भी नहीं, कम भी नहीं. Right? Enrich vocabulary. We know a lot of words, but the right word in the right place. Vocabulary means the stock of words, as we all know. Enrich vocabulary, right? So we need to know the right word in the right place, the exact word, which will help us to express our ideas in brief and to the point. So we need to take care of that. Presentation and group discussion skills, which would also include our speech, extempo, all these lecture sessions, everything. So we need to learn how to give a presentation. Presentation is not actually reading from the slides that we have made. No, it's not. It's not. Right? And the ability and confidence to face interviews. हम लोग बहुत डर जाते हैं इंटरव्यू देने के टाइम. But trust me, interview is a two-way process. अगर मुझे नौकरी चाहिए ना, तो जो मेरे इंटरव्यू ले रहे हैं, the people who come from the industry or from the companies to take my interview, they also need someone like me who is skilled as I am, educated as I am, to do the job for them at their given terms and conditions. So the need is two-way need. Trust me, my dear friends. It's not only I need a job and they don't need anyone. They too need a person to do the job. So how to do it confidently, how to negotiate, how to develop our leadership skills, all these would be the outcome of this session, right? But first and foremost, what we need to understand the importance of communication in our lives. The importance of communication in our lives. I'm stopping sharing this. We need to understand the importance of communication, because from early morning till late at night, what we do, we only communicate. We communicate in our own language. We communicate in English. We communicate in some other language that we know. We communicate in non-verbal language. We communicate with sign languages. You must have seen the different people. They have a very, very scientific sign language and the braille language. You also must have heard about those, about the language which is being used by the people, by people who are visually impaired, who cannot see. All these things helps us to do what? Helps us to communicate. I just see somebody is writing something. So that is a feedback for me. That's a communication, and thank you for that. Someone was writing that this is my first online class. Okay, thank you for that. And in the process, we develop as a human being. You know, we can be very good professionals. We can earn a lot of money. But the first and the foremost thing what you need to do, we need to be a good human being. And in the process of being a good human being, we need to be a good communicator. And if we think that I will communicate well only when I go and meet people who matters to me, then I'm making a very, very wrong decision. Communication, soft skills is a way of life. Communication and soft skills is a way of life. I cannot be good to my boss and rude to someone who serves tea in my office, because that person has less power. No, completely way of life. So in that case, I have a personality disorder, right? If I show different faces to different people, that's a huge problem. Then I have to go to a psychologist to take care of that. Okay, I have to go to a psychologist to take care of that. I'm not getting into that, but trust me, you have to take forward your soft skills, implement your soft skills to everyone around. This will not only help you in your academic life, in your professional life. This will help you in your inner self. This will help you to develop yourself as a good person, as a good human being. And once you become a good human being, you people are too small, just college goers, right? You will be taking admission. I do not know what is your background. There's a lot of time for you to understand this, develop this, nurture this, and practice this. I would always say, okay, so Satyendra Singh is saying that he is BA, B.Ed first year. Hello, Satyendra. It's nice to see you. I can see some other comments coming in. My greetings to all of you. I mean, when I'm speaking, I'm not being able to acknowledge each and every comment which is coming on. But thank you. Please keep on commenting. That gives me a kind of an idea how many people are listening to me and whether they are there with me or not, right? So where I was saying that if I think that I will practice communication, I will give only a brilliant presentation when I am doing it in front of my senior who will be paying my salary end of the day, or to my teacher who would be giving marks for my assignment, then I'm making a mistake. It's a way of life. It's the way I am. So if I'm good to you, I am good to everyone around. Goodness doesn't mean that you will do what everyone else asks you to do. No. Please don't think that being good is being stupid. No, not at all. You can always say no in a very affirmative manner. There's a book, a very, very famous book, which says, the title of the book is, Don't Say Yes When You Want to Say No. We will discuss all these things. There's a lot of things which is there in communication skills, in personality development, in soft skills. And trust me, it's a wonderful journey. I have lived my life with these soft skills, nurturing soft skills among young people like you. And it is always so very fulfilling. So that is it from my side today. I'll be seeing you tomorrow again at 5 o'clock with yet another interesting and exciting session on personality development, spoken English, and communication skills development. Till then, you all take care of yourself. You all are going through a very, very bad time. This pandemic has hit us absolutely badly. Please take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your people around, and keep liking and sharing this session. Thank you so much.
SKD यूनिवर्सिटी, आपकी हमारी अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी। चुने एक ऐसी डगर जो आपको मंजिल के करीब पहुंचाए, जहां आपकी अभिलाषाओं को मिले एक नया रास्ता, जो ले चले आपको प्रगति के पथ पर आत्मविश्वास के साथ। आइए राजस्थान की एक ऐसी संस्था में जो आपकी सोच को एक नई उड़ान दे, जो मंजिल तक पहुंचाने को तैयार है। ये है आपकी हमारी अपनी साडी SKD यूनिवर्सिटी, पंजाब और राजस्थान के बीच में बसी वन ऑफ इंडियाज टॉप यूनिवर्सिटी। हजारों विद्यार्थी, सैकड़ों अध्यापक all the awards. सच कहूं, SKD is the best place for learning. बड़ी व सुंदर इमारतें और मैदान SKD यूनिवर्सिटी के परिसर को अद्भुत बनाते हैं। हमारे लिए शिक्षा सिर्फ क्लासरूम की 4 दीवारों तक सीमित नहीं है। अच्छे शिक्षक एक महान शिक्षा के लिए महत्वपूर्ण हैं। आपके साथ ट्यूटर की लगातार बैठकें होती हैं, जहां आप कोई भी प्रश्न पूछ सकते हैं और साथ ही एक अच्छी राउंडेड पर्सनालिटी विकसित करने के लिए सह पाठ्यक्रम गतिविधियां आवश्यक होती हैं। पुस्तकालय में सभी छात्रों की आवश्यकताओं को पूरा करने वाली विभिन्न किताबों के साथ भारतीय और विदेशी लेखकों की पुस्तकों का संग्रह है। यहाँ लाइब्रेरी में पुस्तकों के अलावा प्रोफेशनल इंजीनियरिंग पत्रिकाओं और अन्य विश्व स्तरीय पत्रिकाओं की सदस्यता तथा संग्रह है। सिर्फ नंबर पाने के लिए नहीं, अनुभव कीजिए विश्व स्तरीय सुविधाओं को जो आपको बनाए प्रतिभावान व कुशल। हम आपके अवसरों को और बेहतर बनाने व व्यक्तित्व विकास के लिए यहाँ कम्युनिकेशन स्किल पर विशेष ध्यान देते हैं, जो जीवन भर आपकी मदद करता है। SKD विश्वविद्यालय में हम कोशिश करते हैं कि छात्र को उनकी पसंद के अनुरूप कौशल प्राप्त हो तथा उद्योग जगत के लिए वे उपयोगी हों। कंप्यूटर शिक्षा का एक अविभाज्य हिस्सा बन गया है और तकनीकी शिक्षा उच्च स्तरीय तकनीक द्वारा संचालित है। कंप्यूटर विज्ञान और सूचना प्रौद्योगिकी के लिए विशेष लैब जो सभी विभागों के छात्रों के लिए एक मार्गदर्शक की तरह है। यहाँ जनरल, बुक्स और अन्य शोध कार्य देखकर पढ़कर उससे ज्ञान बढ़ाते हैं। इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी वाईफाई के साथ उपलब्ध है। प्रयोगशाला आधुनिक उपकरणों से अच्छी तरह से सुसज्जित है और विषय के सिद्धांतों और अभ्यास को समझने के लिए पर्याप्त जानकारी देती है। संबंधित शिक्षकों की देखरेख में छात्रों के उपयोग के लिए कॉलेज में अलग अलग प्रयोगशालाओं जैसे भौतिकी, रसायन विज्ञान, जीव विज्ञान। SKD यूनिवर्सिटी के पाठ्यक्रम को विशेष रूप से डिजाइन किया गया है, जो स्कूल 10+2 से उत्तीर्ण होने के तुरंत बाद लॉ ग्रेजुएट बनने के इच्छुक छात्रों को शामिल करता है। ये छात्रों की सही नींव रखने में मदद करता है और आपको एक सच्चे कानून पेशेवर के रूप में विकसित करता है। खेल और फिटनेस हमारे दैनिक जीवन में एक बहुत बड़ा रोल निभाते हैं। SKD यूनिवर्सिटी अति आधुनिक खेल व फिटनेस सुविधा प्रदान करता है। विशाल परिसर में मेस सुविधा के साथ छात्र और छात्राओं के लिए अलग अलग छात्रावास हैं। कई मायनों में छात्रावास का जीवन परिसर में एक छात्र के जीवन को परिभाषित करता है। प्रत्येक हॉस्टल में इंडोर गेम्स और व्यायामशाला के लिए अलग अलग कमरे हैं। कुछ शिक्षा को एक दायित्व मान सकते हैं, कुछ इसे एक पेशा मानते हैं, लेकिन कुछ ही इसे जुनून के रूप में देखते हैं। श्री खुशहाल दास यूनिवर्सिटी छात्रों के बहुआयामी विकास के लिए हमेशा तत्पर है। ये राजस्थान के हनुमानगढ़ जिले का देश को आगे ले जाने की दिशा में एक मजबूत कदम है। ये है हम सबका विश्वविद्यालय।
SKD यूनिवर्सिटी साडी यूनिवर्सिटी। SKD यूनिवर्सिटी साडी यूनिवर्सिटी।
SKD यूनिवर्सिटी साडी यूनिवर्सिटी।
साडी यूनिवर्सिटी SKD यूनिवर्सिटी।